Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. Zosia Mamet has always been known for her raw honesty, her quirky sense of humor, and her willingness to pull back the curtain on what it's really like to be a working actor in Hollywood. The daughter of acclaimed playwright David Mamet and actress Lindsay Krause, Zosia carved out her own identity in the entertainment industry, gaining fame for her role as Shoshana Shapiro on HBO's Girls. But while that role defined her in the eyes of many fans, Mamet recently revealed that not every job in her career has been as rewarding, or even safe. In a candid new interview, the actress shared a shocking story about why she chose to quit one of the biggest shows on TV, after a deeply humiliating confrontation with its showrunner. The revelation has reignited conversations around toxic work environments in Hollywood, the power imbalance between actors and producers, and the courage it takes to walk away, even from career-defining opportunities. The shocking confession. While speaking on a podcast about her career, Mamet recalled the incident in vivid detail. She explained that she had been cast in a high-profile television series, one that was, at the time, at the absolute peak of its cultural power. Though she didn't name the project outright, she described it as a show that everyone watched and dominated the ratings and awards conversation. Initially, Mamet was thrilled to be part of such a juggernaut. She had auditioned, secured the role, and was excited about the exposure and experience it promised. But things quickly soured. According to Mamet, the showrunner, a figure with enormous creative authority and influence, singled her out during a rehearsal. In front of the cast, crew, and other producers, Mamet says she was berated for her performance in a way that crossed every professional line. It wasn't just criticism, she recalled. It was humiliation. It was loud, it was public, and it was cruel. It was one of those moments where you realize, this isn't about the work. This is about power. And I was the target. A career-defining decision. For Mamet, the incident marked a turning point. She described leaving the set that day shaken and uncertain. As a young actor, she had been trained to accept criticism, to take direction, and to adapt quickly. But this felt different. This wasn't constructive feedback, it was character assassination. I remember going home and thinking, do I really want to subject myself to this every day? She said. And the answer was no. It didn't matter how big the show was, or what it could do for my career. My dignity and my mental health mattered more. The next day, Mamet quit. Walking away from the project meant giving up what could have been her highest profile role at the time. It also meant disappointing agents, managers, and others who had fought to get her the opportunity. But she insists it was the right choice. It was terrifying, she admitted. But it was also liberating. I wasn't going to let someone treat me that way, no matter how powerful they were. Hollywood's toxic power dynamics. Mamet's story is hardly unique in an industry that has long grappled with questions of power and abuse. In recent years, movements like #MeToo and Time's Up have shown a spotlight on the ways in which actors, especially women, are mistreated in the workplace. Showrunners, who wield enormous influence over a series, often operate with little oversight. Their creative vision is considered sacred, and their behavior can go unchecked for years. Industry insiders note that berating actors in front of their peers has historically been a way for some producers and directors to assert dominance. What Mamet experienced is part of a larger pattern, one that is slowly being dismantled as more performers speak out. Actors are told from the beginning that they should be grateful for every job, says a former casting director. That mindset creates a culture where people put up with things they shouldn't, because they're afraid of losing the opportunity. What Zosia did, walking away, takes incredible courage. Fans react. Speculation about the mystery show. Though Mamet has chosen not to name the series, her revelation has sparked intense speculation among fans and media outlets. On social media, discussions have erupted about which biggest show she might be referencing. Some point to popular network dramas from the mid to late 2000s, others to prestige cable series that dominated the cultural landscape. The deliberate vagueness, however, may be intentional. By not naming the project or the showrunner, Mamet avoids legal battles while still making her point about workplace abuse. Her story becomes less about one individual and more about an industry-wide problem. Still, the intrigue has only fueled conversation, drawing attention not just to Mamet's bravery, but also to the reality that many beloved shows may have had deeply dysfunctional sets. Finding strength in vulnerability. Since leaving that unnamed project, Mamet has gone on to build a steady and diverse career. Beyond Girls, she has appeared in acclaimed series like Mad Men and The Flight Attendant, where she starred alongside Kaley Cuoco. Her work continues to garner praise, not just for her comedic timing, but also for her ability to bring depth and complexity to her roles. Looking back, she says that quitting that show may have been one of the most important decisions she ever made. It taught me to trust myself, Mamet explained. I think when you're young in this industry, you feel like you have to accept every opportunity. But sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say no. It doesn't make you ungrateful. It makes you human. The bigger picture, why stories like this matter. Mamet's revelation comes at a time when Hollywood is under greater scrutiny than ever before. Productions are now expected to maintain standards of workplace safety and respect, with intimacy coordinators and HR representatives becoming more common on sets. But progress is slow, and stories like Mamet's serve as reminders that abuse of power remains a lingering issue. Her decision to speak up years later reflects not just personal healing, but also a recognition of her platform. With a devoted fan base and a respected body of work, Mamet has the visibility to push these conversations forward. Every time someone tells the truth about what happened to them, it chips away at the culture of silence, notes an entertainment journalist. That's how change happens, not overnight, but through stories like this. What's next for Zosia Mamet? Far from being defined by that painful experience, Mamet continues to thrive. She recently completed work on several independent film projects and is exploring new opportunities as both an actress and a writer. Fans admire her resilience, with many praising her for prioritizing self-respect over career advancement. As for the unnamed show, Mamet has no regrets about walking away. Leaving was scary, but staying would have been worse, she said. At the end of the day, I don't need to be on the biggest show on TV. I just need to be proud of the work I'm doing and the person I am while I'm doing it. Final thoughts. Zosia Mamet's candid admission is more than a Hollywood anecdote, it's a lesson in self-worth and courage. By pulling back the curtain on her experience, she has highlighted the toxic dynamics that can lurk behind even the most successful shows, and she's reminded other performers that their well-being is worth protecting. For fans, the story is a mix of heartbreak and admiration, heartbreak that she endured such treatment, and admiration for the strength it took to walk away. In an industry built on illusion, Mamet's honesty is refreshing, and, perhaps, revolutionary.